on. Good. And I'm going to turn your mic off. There we go. Stream footage. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Hey, there's Big Duke, the shop dog, in the background there. Look at that. He's making an appearance here on the southbound end of Big Duke there. Welcome, everybody, to the final chat, the shop talk of 2021. We made it all the way to the end of the year, and congratulations and Merry Christmas to everybody. Now, we're going to start off this evening with a giveaway, just right out of the gate, because I'm excited about this shop talk here. So everybody that's here early in the chat, you're going to get a chance, a better chance of winning. And I'm going to start just by giving away a $20 coupon, gift certificate to anything on my website and any of my online courses. And I'll talk more about the online courses here in a minute. And in order to do that, though, you've got to click on the little link there at the top that my web developer down there in Brazil, hey Cesar, how you doing? He's down there in Brazil. You got to click on that link, you got to put in your name, and you got to put in your email address. So go ahead and do that, because I'm going to give away 20 bucks just right out of the gate here. I'm feeling generous today. Also, we've got the girl from Ipanema. There she is, all in her Christmas cheer, ready to go. We got her mic'd up. We got a camera on her in case she needs to say anything here. And we got her all ready to go there. We also got a couple other cameras in the shop here. We've got one way over there. You can see me. Hey, how's it going? Way on the other side of the shop over there. You see the girl from Ipanema. You see me here in front of the computer and the camera. And that way, if you need to walk across the shop over there, we can talk over there. Also got another one there on a bench. See my hand over here. Hey, how's it going? Wow, look at all the Everclear bottles on the bench there. You know, that's how I tell if it's been a good year or a bad year, by how many Everclear bottles I've gone through during the year. And there's a lot of Everclear bottles there. So you can see a lot has been happening here at the O'Brien Guitars Workshop. All right. Holy cow, look how many people we got on there. We got 35, 36 already. You guys go ahead and put in the chat there, in the chat box, where you're from, and I'll try and follow along here. I've got my web developer down there in Brazil, Cesar. He's following along in the chat box, and I've also got the girl from Ipanema here behind me, also on the chat box there. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We've got about a 20-second delay here, so if I take a few seconds to respond to your questions, then that's why. Also, if you have questions, these shop talks are interactive. I like to be able to talk with the people I'm talking to, because I'm just sitting in my shop here. This is kind of weird. I'm just talking to myself. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put those in the chat box, and I'll get to as many of them as I can. And nothing's off limits here. Even the girl from Ipanema, who's over there on camera, if you need to ask her a question, she's willing to participate today, and she'll be willing to answer your questions.
And I see a whole bunch of people from everywhere, Robbie.
From where?
Everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I see Sylvian too.
St. Lucia in Florida. Donald Forsyth there in Georgia. Washington. The Netherlands. Boy, it's late over there. Newark, Delaware. California. Hey, there's Sylvain up there in Canada. He was just here building a guitar with me. Hey, good, yeah, good to see you there. Let's see, who else? Kurt Graber is here. He's doing some CNC stuff. I just talked to him today on the via email. São Paulo, Brazil. Manuela. Hey, Manuela. Ah, okay. I know who Manuela is. I'm going to keep it a secret. Yeah, and parabéns, Manuela. She knows what I'm talking about. North Carolina, we've got Elaine. Hey, Elaine there in Tennessee. We've got Massachusetts, another, let's see, more Toronto. That's Sylvain again. Missouri. My God. California. Alberta, 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, that's a little chilly. It was 62 degrees Fahrenheit in Colorado today. We got no snow on the ground. It's wonderful. It's like springtime. Fresno, California, Arizona, Kansas, Portland, Oregon. Man, we got people everywhere. Well, thank you for tuning in. And let's go ahead and just give something away. Now, to do this, I've got my web developer down there in Brazil, Cesar, and he's created a little program for all those that have entered. They're giving their name and the email address. I'm going to call him on the phone here in just a second. He's got a little program. He clicks a button, and it generates a number that's associated with that person's name and email address. And so here we go. Let's just start by doing that. There we go. Let's get Cesar on the line here. Isn't technology great, folks? I mean, I'm broadcasting to all around the world, and now I'm hearing calling Cesar down there in Brazil. I mean, this is just amazing. Mike from Pennsylvania is here.
We have 2 questions already, by the way.
Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Hey, there's Cesar. Say hello to Cesar, everybody. Hey.
Hello.
Okay, and Cesar's going to generate. How many people have we got entered in the first giveaway here, Cesar?
So, quite impressive. We actually have 35 people already.
35 people. Now, I'm going to be giving away several things throughout the chat here. This is just the first one, and they get better as the night goes along. So here we go. Cesar, go ahead and generate a number there and tell us who the lucky winner is.
Let's see. The number is 32, and the lucky winner is Dave Foster.
Dave Foster, you are the lucky winner.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee, Dave Foster. You're the lucky winner, and you're going to get a $20 coupon for anything available on my website. And we'll talk a little bit more about my website here in just a minute. Cesar, I'm going to hang up. I'm going to have David, or I tell you what, you contact David and set him up with the coupon. Is that okay?
Him soon. Yes.
All right.
Yes,
I'll be back in touch soon because we're going to do another one here in just a few minutes.
Perfect.
Thank you, Cesar.
See you.
Bye-bye.
So, Robbie, we have a few questions, and we also have Acoustic Coffee online.
We got Acoustic Coffee online. Speaking of Acoustic Coffee, look at this. My wife and I are enjoying, there's Adriana enjoying hers, and here's me enjoying mine. We are enjoying a cup of Colombian Supremo coffee, compliments of the Acoustic Coffee Company. Now, you'll also notice in the chat box there on YouTube, there's a coupon code. If you would like to get a discount off your first order with Acoustic Coffee, go ahead and use that coupon code. It's Robbie, R-O-B-B-I-E -O, the letter O, and you'll get a discount. And that will help Mike and Rich out there at the Acoustic Coffee Company. I'm sure they would appreciate that. They're a startup company, and they're doing a fantastic job. So you guys go ahead and, if you're into coffee, go ahead and use that coupon code for your discount on your first order. All right, you said we already have questions.
We do.
I've got, wait a minute, I've got a bunch of notes here. I mean, I've got tons of stuff that I want to talk about. And we've already got questions.
I know.
All right, well, shoot, let's hear the question.
Okay. I have one from David Howard. When building a classical or flamenco guitar with a dovetail joint and not a Spanish heel, what neck angle do you recommend using for either style? Have your neck jig from Inlay?
LMI? Okay, so
I have.
Okay, is that the end of the question?
Yeah.
Okay, so since we cannot hear ourselves talking here, if there's any problem with the audio or the video throughout the stream here, please let us know in the chat box, and there's about a 20-second delay. So please let us know. I noticed that when we were setting things up here, the girl from Ipanema, her mic is a little less hot than my mic is. Now, that doesn't mean that she's not hot. I mean, the girl from Ipanema, she's hot. So her mic is just a little less hot than mine is. So if you having trouble hearing her, please let me know. We'll try and adjust things here as best we can. All right, so the question is, neck angle for classical and flamenco guitar if you're doing a dovetail. Now, I have never measured the neck angle on my guitars. It is what it is, and each guitar is a little different depending on what it needs to be. On the classical guitar, and I'll just illustrate this. Let me just stand up here. Classical guitar, you're holding the guitar in the playing position. The neck is pitched forward. In a steel string guitar, the neck is pitched backwards. I've never measured that angle. I don't know. I have any idea what it is. What I measure is the gap back at the bridge location. And also at the nut, when I push that neck forward on the classical or the flamenco guitar, mine's usually about 2 or 3 millimeters pushed forward. That way it allows me to have a smaller bridge. Now, what that angle is, I have no idea. So I can't give you a number there. Okay, another question?
I need to speak up. Sylvain said that my voice is a little bit low.
Okay.
I don't know if it's better now. I'm trying to just raise my voice. Yes, there's another question from...
I've got your mic maxed out too. So
I know.
so we'll just do the best we can here, folks.
The question at the 216. Let's talk with Paco Chorobo. He discussed beeswax and mineral oil polish. Can you talk a bit about this and how it's used?
Yes. Yeah. In fact, let me turn on the, let's see, I think this camera over here will do it. I may even have some of that left here that we made when Paco was here. Yeah, I can't seem to find it here, but I know I've got some somewhere here, but I can't seem to find it right now. When Paco was here giving his flamenco guitar bending class a couple years ago, he mixed up a concoction of mineral oil. I don't remember if there was beeswax in it or not. There may have been, I don't know, but he mixed up a concoction, and he used that to seal the wood. And it's fantastic concoction, and I don't know the recipe. And if you send an email to Paco, I'm sure that he will explain that to you, though. Next question.
That's
that it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to talking about some things we got going on here. I usually do an end of the year video. I don't know how many people have watched that on YouTube, but I always do an end of the year video. And I talk about everything that happened at O'Brien Guitars throughout the year and talk about what's going to happen next year. Also, at the end of the video, I put a little montage to music of pictures of all the students that came through O'Brien Guitars through that year. And it's become quite popular over the years, and people are even asking for, hey, when are you going to do the end of your video? Well, I've already done it. I released it this week. So make sure that you find that link. In fact, Cesar, if you're listening down there in Brazil, if you want to find that link on YouTube, the O'Brien Guitars 2021 end of year video, and just put that link in the chat box, people can watch that. All right, so let's talk a little bit about, oh, have we got a winner yet?
Yes, David.
Yeah, David.
And he said, thank
oh, that's right. That's right. David won. And has he contacted you, Cesar? Make sure that you get in touch with him. Give him that $20 coupon. The next one I'm going to give away is going to be a $50 coupon. So you guys stay around for that. We got 48 people watching, and one of those 48 people is going to get a $50 gift certificate to anything on my website. Speaking of my website, let's go take a look at the website here. Let's see here. There is the website, and O'Brien Guitars has 30,000 visitors a month to the website currently, and that's a lot of people. 30,000, we're averaging about 1,000 people a day drop into the O'Brien Guitars website, either to surf around, figure out who I am, check out the bio, the instruments I make, and teaching and stuff, or to go to the online course page, which just happens to be right here. And you'll notice that there's a big red banner with some snowflakes coming down that says 10% off only until Christmas Day. Now, Adriana, if I remember correctly, Christmas is just, a couple days, 2-3 days away here. This Saturday. So if you want to get in on that 10% off until Christmas Day, then you got to do it before Christmas Day. Self-explanatory there. Also, we've added a new thing this year. You can purchase things as a gift certificate. For a friend. So if you have a friend or a significant other and you want to gift a course to them, you can now do that. You get a little email that says, you've been gifted this, and you can put it in their stocking or whatever. And that way they get a little gift from you. So there you go. All right. So all of the courses are 10% off till Christmas Day. And speaking of courses, I added a lot of courses this year. Starting with, let's see, I'll go backwards, the order that we put them in. Violin making with Lucas Fabro. They're in Cremona, Italy. And Lucas and I spent the better part of a year and a half putting that together. And it's a fantastic, very comprehensive. I think it's the best violin instruction available, bar none. Leveling, wet sanding, and buffing made simple with Jeff Jewett. Fantastic course. If you want to learn how to, after you've sprayed your instruments, how to level and buff them. By the way, Jeff Jewett and I are going to be teaching a class at the Mark Adams School of Woodworking next year on how to do a high gloss spray finish. And I'll talk more about that here in a little bit. Inlay techniques with Larry Robinson. Larry Robinson's been an inlay artist for over 50 years, and he's the best. And so if you want to learn how to do inlay, it's divided into beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And I think you'll find that very beneficial. Repair and restoration with me, Robert O'Brien. Yay! I did a repair and restoration video where I do things as simple as setups and making nuts, making saddles, all the way up to full-fledged restorations on high dollar instruments. I believe there's even one in there from about 1860, a Martin. And another one was set up and repair with Greg Maxwell. Greg's a fantastic luthier, and we worked together for the better part of a year to put that together. I also filmed the Rocky Mountain Guitar Camp concert. Now, that is a fantastic concert. It goes on every year up at Estes Park here in Colorado, and there's some Grammy Award winners that pop in and play there, and every year I film that. This year I went a little bit above and beyond, had multiple cameras right on stage, high def, mastered audio. I mean, it's a really, really fantastic show, over 2.5 hours long. And all of the proceeds go to support the John Knowles scholarship program. So that is a great thing to do. And if you're just looking for something to do during Christmas and you want to watch a great concert on your big screen in high def, then that's the concert to get. I don't make a dime off of that. It all goes to the Rocky Mountain Guitar Camp and the scholarship program. The last one is the Advanced Neck Construction, the Bird's Beak, with Ramon Tristani up there in Washington. So there you go. That's a lot that's going on there. Let me get back to my stream footage here. Whew, I'm back. Hey. Yeah, you got a question?
Yes.
All right.
So Bart asked, when voicing the top, do you voice also to a certain main top frequency or just to a certain response?
That's a good question. And that must come from the Trevor Gore influence that you probably have. During the voicing process in my shop and in my classes, I do not voice to a frequency. The frequency is what it is. And based on my experience, when I close the box and then after the guitar is strung up, I'll do a little testing on it. And what do you know? Those frequencies are pretty close to what they need to be according to Trevor Gore's books. But I do it all touchy-feely by hand, and I've got enough experience that I can pretty much hit those frequencies, and I know I'm going to hit them without testing along the way. I get pretty darn close when I do my testing afterwards. Okay, Adriana.
So Dwayne is asking, are you going to do live online acoustic building guitar course in 2022?
That is a great question. That is a great question. Something that I started this year was virtual classes. I'll talk more about that here in a minute. I've offered French polish and steel string voicing virtual classes this year, and I will offer them again next year. I just haven't got them scheduled yet. I don't have the dates, but I do have a long list of people that already want to get involved in that. Eventually, I want to get to the point where I can do a full-fledged build virtually. I'll have cameras all over my shop like you see that I have now. Every machine will have a camera, and I'll be able to dial that up, and we'll be able to build a guitar together. Now, initially, that will be only for people that have come and studied with me. They have to have their own shop, obviously. We'll build something, and I'll send them home with some homework. Say, all right, come back next week, and we'll talk about what you did, and we'll give you the next assignment. It'll be spread out over 15, 20, 25 weeks, whatever it needs to be. But as of right now, I'm not set up to do that. It's going to take a little bit longer. But yeah, very good question. Thanks for that.
So Mahesh Shander, if I don't say your name, I apologize if I don't say it right. Mm-hmm. I have done hundreds and hundreds of refrets, but never bar frets. Any tips on bar frets?
Yes, I have a...
Need a beer?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, bar frets.
Oh, you mean like the bar over the open bar there, all those Everclear bottles? No, I did a Luthier Tips du Jour video on bar frets, and I haven't released that yet. I have about a 5 or 6 year waiting list. Anytime I have the inspiration, I come down, I film the Luthier Tips du Jour video, I edit it, I put it on YouTube as an unlisted video. Every 3 weeks, I flip a switch and make one public. And I've got enough for another 5, 6, 7 years already in the queue, ready to go. So if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, then you're going to hear from me for about another 5, 6, or 7 years every 3 weeks. But there is one in there. Speaking of tips du jour, let me just show you something on my website here. If you go over to my website, and one of the courses that's available that is 10% off is called the Luthier Tips du Jour videos. And what that is, it offers you all of my original Luthier Tips du Jour videos, all of my released Luthier Tips du Jour mailbag videos, plus all of my unreleased Luthier Tips du Jour videos, not all of them, but all that I put in this. And there's about 30 or 40 of them that are still unreleased on this one. And there's the list of them right there. I mean, there's a big, long list. So if you want to, go ahead and purchase that and support a good cause, you can watch them before they come out. You can see them now rather than later. All right.
More questions, Robbie.
Oh my God.
Brad.
More questions. Let's have them.
Any info on next year's new courses, or it's a top secret?
Okay. Boy, you guys are, I've got all that stuff on my list here, but you're
Can I
just,
stop, by the way?
no, that's okay. I mean, you guys can jump ahead and I'll go ahead and talk about it. I've spent the last 18 months filming every step of the guitar building process in my shop with a student. And I'm going to launch, hopefully I can launch it this coming year, but there's a lot of editing involved. I'm going to launch a new classical guitar building course and a new steel string guitar building course based on the sequence that I take here in my shop. Instead of chapter 1, the neck, chapter 2, the sides, chapter 3, blah, 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 it's going to be day 1 and everything we do day 1, day 2, everything we do day 2. And we're jumping around. And we'll start by thickness in the sides, and then we'll make a block for an end block, a heel block, and then we'll join a top and a back, and then we'll, I mean, it's pretty crazy. And it's going to be very good for those that, first of all, want to learn how to work efficiently, build a guitar in 6 days if you want to do that. And also, it's going to help those that have already come and studied with me. It's a review of what they did here in the class. It's not top secret. The cat's already out of the bag, but I need some more time to get that ready to go. All right. Did anyone got another question for us?
Yes, David Foster. Robbie, have you any suggestions on making a back strip for guitar? I would imagine similar to a rosette.
A back strip for a guitar similar to rosettes. So I think you're talking about purflings and tiles and things like that. Yes, my rosette making course with Bill Nessie will show you how to do that. I'll show you how to make your bandings. It's all there, how to make the tiles, and I mean, and basically it's the same thing if you're making it in a straight line or in a circle. It's the same. Actually, it's a little easier if it's a straight line. You don't have to bend it. So check out the rosette making course. Oh, did I mention that that's 10% off until Christmas Day? Did I mention that, Adriana?
No.
I don't think I did.
Oh, no, you did not.
Okay, well, let me mention that. 10% off till Christmas Day. So go ahead and get that if you want to, and that will show you how to do it.
Sylvain, I cannot say his name right. Sylvain. Mm-hmm. If someone buys one of the online courses, do they get updates if they become available, or are updates extra?
No, actually, when I do an update, it's not really an update, it's an additional course. So, for example, the 6-day course, it would be a separate course altogether. Now, the 6-day course still sells very well. I did that almost 15 years ago. Or not the 6-day course, but my original classical, my original steel string course. I did those almost 15 years ago. It's very valid. So it's just that the technology is becoming a little outdated. It's in standard def, but all of the information is very valid. I do very few things different, but I do some things different. And so those will be included in the new course, and also it will follow a different sequence, day 1, day 2, day 3, instead of chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. But no, there is no you don't just get the course for free just because I upgraded it. But it's not really an upgrade. It's additional material, additional course. Okay?
And Gary Redmond, Robbie, when one of your courses is purchased, is there a cutoff time or limited time to complete the course? I don't think so.
Good question. No. Once you purchase the course, you get unlimited views. You can stream that thing from here to eternity. And my website's been around for a long time and will continue to be around for a long time. I'll talk about my website here in a minute. We've got some surprises coming up. But you can stream as many times as you want, unlimited, from multiple devices. Let's say you're on your desktop, then you run down to your shop and you're on your iPad and I can't remember that step. Rather than running back to the office, just dial it up on the iPad. You can have multiple devices, multiple streams. Now, you'll notice over the last year or so that some of my courses are no longer downloadable. And originally, all of the courses were downloadable. I have stopped doing that on all of my new courses that I've launched. A couple of reasons. One's copyright infringement. It takes me a large amount of time and effort to put these courses together. Some of these courses I have partners on, and therefore they get royalties. And it's a real bummer when I discover that somebody's abusing the privilege and doing copyright infringement. So that's one reason. The courses that I've started launching this year are no longer downloadable. The other reason is the file sizes are getting larger and larger. I mean, they're getting huge because all of this is filmed in 4K now. Now I bump it down to 1080 HD. So they're not quite so large, but they're still very large file sizes. And to be able to download those and save those is becoming virtually impossible, or a real pain in the behind. So that's why.
And you just answered somebody's question.
Now, if you want to download those courses that are still downloadable, when you purchase them, go ahead and do that, because top secret, that's going to be going away in the future as well. Okay.
And
Adriana.
Sylvain asked something very.
No, he's talkative tonight, isn't he?
I know.
He was kind of quiet when he was here in my shop here a
This
few
is
weeks
good.
ago. But
Robbie, you said a teaser a couple weeks ago about the academy. Can you tell us more?
yes, I can. Okay.
It's a good one.
That's one of the things on the list here. Top secret, for the last year and a half, my web developer down there in Brazil, Cesar, and I have been working on what's called the Lutherie Academy. Basically, we're going to separate the O'Brien Guitars brand from my instructional videos. Now, if you log in on my website or log in on the Lutherie Academy, it's all going to be the same. Nothing's changed. Your password, everything's all the same. You can just have two different portals to log in on now, and we're going to slowly transition over to the Lutherie Academy. And basically what that's going to be is a portal for all things Lutherie related. It's going to have all of my instructional videos. It's going to have virtual classes. It's going to have concert footage like the Rocky Mountain Guitar Concert or Guitar Camp concert. It's going to have ads from suppliers and people in the industry. For example, Acoustic Coffee Company. If they want to place a banner ad, they'll be able to do that. So you'll be able to discover a lot of things about materials and supplies and how to stay caffeinated and hydrated and all that kind of stuff. So that's top secret. It's coming. I've put together, for now, a very top secret advisory committee of very well-known professionals in the industry. And here in the near future, in the very near future, I will be announcing who those people are. And it is going to be the most detailed, thorough portal for everything Lutherie related, bar none. Okay? Another question.
Do you want to go over your questions or keep going?
Well, I got stuff to talk about too if you need me to.
Sure.
How are we doing on time? Oh, it's about time for another giveaway. How about that?
Do you have tips? Do you have tips for bending ebony sides is comparable to, for example, rosewood? Is it comparable to it's bar?
Okay, bending ebony sides. Now I assume you're talking about African ebony. Take it a little bit thinner and bend it as you normally would, and it will bend fine. I've had good success bending ebony. Now, if you want to go with the Indian ebony, it bends a little bit easier, and it's almost indistinguishable from the African ebony, in my opinion. So, and you can still get it kind of in a black rather than the striped stuff that we're getting from the African ebony these days. Now, it is prone to cracking though, so keep your guitar hydrated. All right, let's do a giveaway.
Peraí que ele perdeu a conexão.
Who?
O César.
Cesar's lost his connection? Mm-hmm. What about everybody else? On YouTube, we're still fun?
No, it's just Cesar.
All right, so my web developer down in Brazil has hit a little glitch there. He lost his connection, so we'll give him a couple minutes to get booted back up.
Ele está usando o celular agora.
Okay, so, and then in the meantime, we'll get ready to do another drawing. This one's going to be for $50. $50 gift certificate or coupon for anything on my website. By the way, did I mention my online courses are 10% off? What you got, Adriana?
I asked Santa for a 6-day online guitar making course. I guess he said yes, but next year. So he's saying approximate release date for the 6-day classical guitar making course. Okay. The approximate release date for the 6-day classical guitar bending course, and just classical or steel string, or both of them? Just say classical. Okay, I'm going to be very thorough here and pinpoint this as accurately as I can when I get it done. So, there's a lot of editing involved. I mean, I've got 6 days of footage, and you got to bump that all down and edit it, and it takes to edit 6 days of footage is going to take me 6 months, for example. It takes a long time. I mean, you guys have no idea the amount of effort that goes in to putting together these online courses, and I think I sell them a little too cheap. Cesar's back. Okay,
Cesar's back. So here we go. Online gift certificate for $50. Do I need to call Cesar? Let's give him a call again. Let's just bug him a little bit. What do you say?
Okay.
All right, here we go. We're calling Cesar down there in Brazil, and we're gonna. I'm doing this so you guys can see that we're not cheating here, so we know exactly who's coming up. There he is. Hey, how's it going?
I'm back.
All right, Cesar, are you ready for to generate another winner there?
Yes. So we now have 45 participants.
45. All right. Well, I'm showing 51 people watching, so I guess 6 people said, "Hey, forget it."
Yeah, that's right.
All right, who's the winner?
Number 4 is Lana Maya.
Lana Maya, number 4. You're the lucky winner. All right, so Cesar, you be in touch with her or him. I don't know who.
Yes.
and he will give away a $50 gift certificate. There's more to give away tonight. I'm feeling generous. So, Cesar, see you later. Thank you very much. I'll let you get in touch with that person.
See you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
There's a personal question for you.
Yep, go.
Donald, Robbie, out of the great Luthiers past and present, which Luthier or Luthier had the greatest influence on you, and in what ways?
That's a good question.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, so the main person that influenced me for classical guitar building was Antonio Tessarin, who just happens to be my web developer's father. Cesar Tessarin is my web developer. I met him when he was about 3 or 4. He was just a little guy, and he now does my website. But his father, and I've got some pictures on, maybe I'll pull up here in a few minutes. His father, I owe him a lot. He generously opened his shop to me almost 25 years ago and taught me how to build classical guitars, and I just took the ball and ran with it. Now, when I was still living in Brazil and studying with Antonio, I would fly back to the States. In fact, Antonio came with me one time, and we took a class from Kent Everett in Atlanta, Georgia, who is probably my most influential steel string builder. And I owe Kent a lot. Very grateful for what these two individuals have done and helped me out in what I now use to make my living. So thank you, Antonio, and thank you, Kent. But those are probably the ones that have influenced me the most as far as the building aspect of it. Now, as far as the voicing aspect of it, the classical guitar, I took a course years ago with Jose Romanitos in Spain, and he influenced me quite a bit. And of course, his influence was Torres and Hauser. And so very, very big Hauser Torres influence there. I'm more of a traditional builder. I'm not opposed to the carbon fiber and the double tops and all that kind of stuff. I'm just more of a traditional builder. So fan bracing in my classicals and X braces on my steel strings. That was a good question. Thank you for that. Got more questions, or you want me to talk for a bit?
Talk for a little bit until I find the next one.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go. We talked a little bit about my website. I want to go back to my website and show you a couple of things here. So here's the website. If you go to the online course page, then you can see that there's all these online courses there. By the way, 54 countries, people from 54 countries purchased at least one of my online courses. So this is, I mean, it's got worldwide appeal here. It reaches out all over the world. Iran, Pakistan, Australia, China, Hong Kong, Japan, all over Canada, United States, Central and South America. I mean, you name it, I'm there. So thank you very much for all those that have purchased from those countries. Tips du jour videos. Many people don't know this. They usually go around and search for them on YouTube, but if you come up here to the media tab, come down here to videos, click on that. There you'll find all my Luthier Tips du jour videos in chronological order. And I launched 15 of those this year. So 15, the last one I did was Luthier Tips du jour mailbag number 40. And we talked about the sharpening angle and why I put the certain angle I do on my guitar or on my chisels and planes. And if you come over here to the drop-down menu, then, and for some reason, this drop-down menu doesn't show up on YouTube. I don't know why, because I'm running it through OBS Streamlabs, and I don't know why, but you can see my cursor. But there's a drop-down menu, and if you drop down here and click on, let's go to Builder Showcase. Builder Showcase is something I want to talk about here. The Builder Showcase was developed by Elaine Seat. She's a member of my private invitation-only chat group, and she has put this together. It's her baby, and we did 8 of those this year. What it is just members of our forum that want to talk about their instruments. And the last one was Karan Singh in India, and he talked about a lot of things that are very fascinating. I mean, it was really captivating about the challenges, the unique challenges he faces as a luthier in India. He has to create his market, basically, and some alternative tone woods that he's using. So it's fascinating. And you can find all of those there in chronological order. If you go back up here to the drop-down menu, you'll see the original Luthier Tips du jour. You'll see the Luthier Tips du jour mailbag. I've got product videos, Robert's guitars. You can click on that and you'll see videos of people playing my instruments. In fact, there's Paco when he was in town. We went and did an event and he played my cardboard guitar. And you'll also see instruments built by students. that students come into town, build instruments with me, and then some of them are gracious enough to let me turn the camera on, and they'll do a little playing and talking about what's going on there. Let's see, what else have we got there as far as videos? Repair videos. I even got some repair videos in there. They are not as detailed as my actual repair course. They're just highlights, but lots of free information in there for you as well. And let's see what else we got in the drop-down menu here. Live streams. Whoop, where'd it go? Where's live streams? There it is. Live streams. This is Shop Talk number 17. The last one I did was way back in September with Paco Chorobo there in Spain. We talked about his flamenco guitar bending course and a bunch of other stuff. So if you want to go back and watch past Shop Talk live streams, I did 8 of those this year as well. You know, I don't understand how we survived this year, because we did a lot of work. By the way,
must be the coffee.
It must be the coffee, Acoustic Guitar Company coffee. Let me get back here because I want to get this on me. There we go, back on me. By the way, thank you to the girl from Ipanema, the behind the scenes here at O'Brien Guitars. She serves the coffee from the Acoustic Coffee Company and the pastries from the French bakery here in town. And my son, Thiago, he's the technical guy. When I have a problem 5 minutes before we're supposed to go live, I have him run down real quick and help get me set up here. Thank you to Cesar, the web developer down there in Brazil. He's been an integral part of this and the behind the scenes of the website. That new website, Lutherie Academy, coming up. Oh my God, he's worked full time on that this year. And we're getting really close to launching that. So thank you, Cesar, and all those who have, obviously come and studied with me and paid me so I can make a living to make all of this happen. Thank you very much. And thank you those for tuning in here. We got 50 people, or is that 60? 50. 50 people. Yeah. All right. They're dropping like flies. Maybe I should tell a joke, huh?
2 more questions.
Oh, you got another question? Okay.
Yes. David Howard. Again on the neck. Joint on a classical guitar with the dovetail joint using the LMI on LMI neck joint rig.
Yes. What
gap do you recommend? I am in Pine, Colorado.
Oh, Pine, Colorado. Oh, it's just around the corner here. Classical or steel string, does it say?
On the neck, classical guitar.
Classical guitar. Okay. Classical guitar, I don't know, because I do a traditional Spanish hill. I don't do the bolt-on or another type of joint. I do the traditional Spanish hill. So I don't use the Robert O'Brien LMI neck angle jig. I don't use that. I use it for my steel strings. And for my steel strings, the gap that I'm looking for as I'm setting up the angle there is if you push a straight edge or place a straight edge across that neck, I'll extend it back to the saddle location. I'm looking for a gap between the bottom of the ruler and the top of the soundboard at 3.5 millimeters. So, but I don't use it for my classical guitars. Obviously, the classical guitar might even be a negative because you're going the other way, but I don't know what it is. If you post that question on my chat group, I'm sure somebody will respond, because there's people on there that are using the neck angle jig for the classical guitar.
Kurt Silva, yellow cedar as a top wood. It's very fine, strong and clone grain. Would it be a good match up on a rosewood as well as maple type wood for the back and sides?
Yeah, I like yellow cedar. And depending on how you, thickness that top, well, I'm starting to run out of voice here. Hang on just a second, folks. Depending on how you thickness and brace and voice that top, you can make a cedar top sound like spruce, you can make a spruce top sound like cedar, etc. So I don't know if I can really answer your question. I do know that cedar, both western red cedar and yellow cedar, makes a great soundboard material, and it smells good too. So.
Okay, one more.
Okay.
Always been curious about the guitar you made in Spain with Romanillos. Does it get playing time? By the way, 50% of why want to fly out to Colorado for the in-person course is to play that baby.
I've got a guitar that I made with Jose Romanillos when I was in Spain. It's in the humidor there behind me. Currently, it doesn't have strings on it, but it's a fantastic sounding guitar, and that influenced me quite a bit in my personal building and in my teaching. Basically, what we build in my class is that guitar that I built with Jose. So.
Elaine Harstein, what guitar repair building YouTube channels do you like the best?
This may sound a little strange, but I don't get on YouTube very much. First of all, I don't have a lot of time, and there's so much available out there. Most of it's crap. So you really got to weed through the crap and find the good information. So I really don't hunt around on YouTube a lot, and I also don't get on Facebook very much. I get on, I post my stuff and get off because my time is at a premium. I use YouTube and Facebook and Instagram as a marketing tool, free marketing, and I use it for that. I don't do a lot of research on it, so therefore I'm really not influenced by a lot of people on YouTube. I'm influenced by the people I've studied with. Just an interesting tidbit. I've been doing YouTube videos since 2006, I think. Back then, I used to get between 2,500 and 5,000 hits a day on my YouTube channel. And I had, just a few videos. Now I've got hundreds of videos, and I get about 1,000 to 1,500 a day. I maybe get 1,800 to 2,000 on a good day. So what happened? Basically, there's more people out there putting out information. The guy's built one guitar, he's building out of his garage, and all of a sudden he's, an expert, and he does a well-polished, well-produced video, and, squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of thing, and he gets a little popularity. So I get a lot fewer hits on my YouTube channel, and that's the only explanation I have for it. However, there's a lot more garbage out there, and you got to weed through it to find the good stuff. So I try and do the best I can as far as putting out quality information, very short, sweet, and to the point, and things that people can use very quickly. Okay.
Do you, Masahiko, do you radius the upper bout or leave flat for tight neck joint? Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, that's good. Okay. He's talking about the steel string guitar. I radius the rims, the sides, and the kerfing to a 30-foot radius on my classical guitar, on my steel string guitars. The top, I brace everything below the sound hole in a 30-foot radius disc, so it's domed. Everything above the sound hole, I glue up on a flat surface. So the tongue depressor and the upper transverse brace are glued on a did I say that right? Tongue depressor, upper transverse brace are glued on a flat surface. Now, I know what you're thinking out there. You're thinking, well, wait a minute. You just put a 30-foot radius on the rims. However, your top has a dome in the lower bout and it's flat in the upper bout. How does that work? Well, it just does. So minimal pressure, and that top will just fold right down in and glue on there. But where I need it in the fretboard area is as flat as possible, because if you have a large radius going on there, when you glue your fretboard on, put a little tension in there, it's eventually going to crack down there. Also makes it a little harder to set the neck. So that's what I do. Keep everything flat above the sound hole in the bracing, and then radius the rims.
Kurt Silva. Hi, Robert. I did just purchase your OM online course and kit. Looking forward to my first build starting in January.
Perfect. Congratulations on that. Be careful. This is very addicting.
Do you use quarter sawn wood for sawn?
Quarter sawn. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wood for the bridge plate, or do you think it's not necessary? That's from Mahesh.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary. Quarter sawn, flat sawn, riff sawn, I don't think it matters. What is important, though, is that you don't drill all the bridge pin holes down the same grain line. So I usually skew it or offset the grain so that they're not all down the same grain line. Okay.
And can we send you videos of us playing guitars made using your courses?
Absolutely. Please do that. In fact, I showed my website here just a minute ago that shows there's a little drop-down menu there that shows instruments built by guitars, and there's quite a few of them there, and I can add you to the list if you want. I got one this year from a guy in Iran that had built a guitar and sent me a video of it. So yes, please do that. All right, is it time for another giveaway, Adriana?
Yes, it's 5:46. I think I'm okay with the questions now. I think we answered everything.
Okay, so let's let a few more questions come in, and let's do a quick giveaway. Let's see, we've given away a $20, $50. What do you say we give away a $100 gift certificate? You okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, $100 gift certificate, anything on my website. Oh, by the way, did I mention that 10% off on all the online courses on my website? I haven't mentioned that?
No.
Oh, well, maybe I should. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. All right, 10% off all online courses, and here comes a $100 gift certificate. Let me call the boss down there in Brazil. Here we go. And we've got 56 people watching now. Here comes Cesar again. There he is. All right. You ready for another one, Cesar?
Yes.
Okay.
So we now have 46 people.
46 people. We're going to give away a $100 gift certificate now.
So let me just switch the camera.
All right. Here we go.
Here it is. rating. And number 24, which is Carl Jorgensen.
Carl Jorgensen. Carl Jorgensen. All right. I'll hang up, Cesar, and I'll let you contact him. He just won a $100 gift certificate. Thank you very much. I'll be back here in a few minutes for the final giveaway.
Another question?
All right. So, Carl Jorgensen, congratulations. Merry Christmas. You just won a $100 gift certificate for any of my courses on my website. Oh, by the way, those courses are 10% off. Anyway, all right. We got another question. And I still got some stuff I want to talk about here.
So, okay, last one.
Okay, here we go.
Kurt, Graber, do you have a paint booth in your shop? I'm always looking for alternatives to the weather, not cooperating. Kind of worried about the fire hazard of putting one in my shop.
Very good. That is a fantastic question. I do not have a dedicated spray booth here in my shop. I work out of my home. I've got about 1,000 square feet in my basement, and that's where I work. I have never installed a professional spray booth. I have a third bay up in my garage where I could very easily put one in. It would cost me about 10 to 15 grand to do it. I'd have the fire marshal here and a bunch of problems with the HOA, and I don't want that. Hey, hey, there's my son, Thiago. Step on over here. Step on over here. This is the technical guy. Anytime I have any problems technically, like we had today about 15 minutes before we're supposed to go live, this guy solved it. So thank you so much.
He's the man.
What happens if you put medicated chapstick on your lips?
That's okay.
It's fine, yeah.
Because it was burning.
Yeah, okay.
So just clean up.
I did. I wiped it off.
He learned a very important lesson here today. Medicated chapstick stings on the lips. He also learned a very important lesson when he was a very, very young boy, and that's never pee into the wind. He learned that lesson the hard way.
Oh.
All right, so here we go. Where was I going with that? The question? Oh, spray booths. Spray booths. I've never installed it. I only spray about 4 to 6 guitars a year. I can't justify the expense of putting in a dedicated spray booth. So where do I spray? When I spray, which is not very often, I spray in the backyard. Now, I've got neighbors on either side of me. What I do is I wait until there's a big crosswind coming through there and the neighbor's barbecuing on the other side of the fence. That's when I spray my guitar. I'm kidding. I don't do that. If there is a slight wind, you want to be, obviously upwind. I protect myself with spray suit and a full face mask respirator. And it works. It works fine. Some of the best finishes I've ever seen done were car finishers when I lived in Brazil. And they didn't have spray booths. They'd roll that car out into the garage and spray away. And they did some fantastic work. So it is possible. You don't need a dedicated spray booth. I have some experiences with that, though, where I just got done spraying a guitar one time. I'm admiring my handiwork. No runs, no drips, no overspray. It looks great. And a moth flew into it and then rolled down the back. So that happens. Another time I just got done spraying. It was kind of the end of fall, and a breeze came by and blew a whole bunch of small leaves into it. So you do have, some things you have to be careful about. But, if you're careful, it works fine. Temperature and humidity. I worry more about humidity than I do temperature. I've sprayed at 35 degrees here in Colorado and never had a problem. I take the guitar from my shop, which is warm, take the lacquer from my shop, which is warm, go outside, spray, hang it up in the garage, which is not quite as warm as the shop, but it's warmer than it is outside. So I've sprayed, on very, very cold days, I've sprayed up to about 85, 90 degrees. I don't have any humidity, very little humidity in Colorado, so I don't have to worry about blushing and stuff. So it is possible. Just make it work for you. Question?
Not just a comment. Rone Ramos from Brazil, he said, "Hey Robert, stopping by to say that I've been using the animal glue."
Yeah, high glue.
That's high glue?
Yeah, high glue, yeah.
I wanted to try the fish glue.
Oh, he wants to try the fish glue. Okay, so the difference between hide glue and fish glue is that you don't have to cook the fish glue. You just use it right out of the bottle. Hide glue, obviously, you have to mix and cook. And, if you don't get the temperature just right, it can be temperamental. Fish glue is a great thing. However, in high humidity environments that are hot, like Brazil, you could have a problem. Now, there are some very dry areas in Brazil as well. So you could have a problem. So be careful with that. I've used fish glue for years and never had a problem. I love it. It's great for repair work too. Gives you a very long open time, get inside the guitar, do the bracing, whatever you need to do. Okay, Adriana?
Sage says, if you need a spray booth, check your area for maker spaces. Many have them. Great alternative for small shop builders.
Yep. I forgot to mention that. There are other small-time builders that perhaps have spray booths, or furniture and cabinet shops sometimes have spray booths. And, you know, for a 6-pack or, you know, $50 or something, they may just allow you to come in there and do what you need to do. So that's a great alternative. I failed to mention that. Yes. Okay. Are we done with questions?
Yes. Oh, one more just came. Nathan,
Mm-hmm.
what would you think of installing carbon fiber in a Martin from the 1860s? I believe it is a Spanish-seated neck.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do it. You want to keep things as original as possible. And those guitars were built for gut, not for our modern day steel string. So I don't think it's necessary. The 1860 Martin I just restored this year, I didn't put any carbon fiber in it. So keep it original. Yeah, I don't think it needs it. Now, don't put your modern day steel strings on it. That'll cause problems. That's why all those old guitars come in for repairs, because people tried to put steel strings on it when they came out, and of course they couldn't take that.
Oh, Anton, he's from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
What about high glue that is liquid at room temperature? Tight bond make it?
Yeah, good question. I've always shied away from those because I've heard reports of adhesion issues. I hired a violin maker when I used to teach a Lutherie course at a college here in Colorado, that he swore by it. Of course, he was making violins. You want to be able to get those tops and backs off of there, and they don't have near the tension in the way that a guitar does. So I've heard some horror stories about that. I've also heard people have used it and never had a problem. So, you know, your results may vary. I tend to shy away from it. Okay, but there are some areas on the guitar perhaps you could use it. You know, gluing peg head veneers on, or bindings, or, you know, whatever. There's some areas you could probably use it. Okay. Deanna, can I talk about more stuff here?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, here we go. I talked about my website, the 5 courses, the 8 builder showcases we did, the 8 live shop talks we did, the Rocky Mountain guitar concert footage that we did. I mean, 2.5 hour fantastic show. I mean, you guys, if you don't have anything to do during the holidays, get that. It's only like $12 or something. And sit down and watch that on your big screen, and it goes to a great cause. 100% of the proceeds go to the Rocky Mountain Guitar Camp Scholarship Program. 24 students came into my shop this year and built guitars with me. I was scheduled to do 25. The very last one canceled. So that's just the way it goes, and I needed a break anyway, so I wasn't too worried about that. But that's a lot of guitars, folks. 24 guitars. Watch my end of year video. You'll be able to see a montage of that. 54 countries bought my videos. 10 million hits on YouTube. We passed 10 million views this year on YouTube. I also have been hosting for about 15 years now a private invitation-only Google chat group. We've got over 1,300 members now, and that takes a lot of time daily for me to monitor and host that. I have a few pictures here I wanted to show you today too. Let me see if I can pull those up. There we go. Talk about some virtual classes here. This was the first year they offered virtual classes. Now with today's technology, we can do a lot of great things. And so when the COVID hit, I thought, oh, this is the writing on the wall. People are going to stop coming and building with me, which was not the case, but it could have been. And so I started offering virtual classes, went and invested in a bunch of cameras and audio gear and put cameras all over the shop. And there was a huge learning curve, but I managed to get through it. And so I started offering virtual French polish class, and I'm putting a little slideshow up here as we do this. And for some reason it's got my thumbnail up there, but I don't know how to get rid of that. So we'll just move forward with it. Anyway, there we go. So I did a French polish class, talked about how to do the French polish, how to repair the French polish, had guys from all over the world. And one of the cool things about doing the virtual classes is they're virtual. So I can see, like this gentleman here, he's not even in my shop. And I believe this person was from Canada. And I can see what they're doing. Had a guy from Austria in the shop. We even had to change the time, so he wasn't doing it at like 3 o'clock in the morning. There's another person from Canada. There's Chris out there on the East Coast. I believe he's in Virginia. But I mean, it's like me being in their shop. It's like them being in my shop. So we can, you know, they had homework assignment. We spread the thing out over 3 weeks. And some people worked on sample boards. Some people worked on guitars. It was just fantastic. But through the Zoom and the technology that we have today through computers, I'm able to offer those classes. And the only classes I offer are steel string voicing and French polish. I think those two lend themselves well to the virtual format. In September, I also went and taught at the Mark Adams School of Woodworking, who just happens to be the largest woodworking school in the world. I mean, this is just one of the buildings. He's got several of them there. And at that, I taught steel string and classical voicing class, and I also did a French polish class there. And that was very well received. I have a following that comes and sees me there every year, and you can see they're doing some fantastic work. I still found some time to mix up a few batches of the O'Brien Guitars Lutherie Wax and the O'Brien Guitars Lemon Oil, and ship those off to LMI, and they're available at LMI if you want those. I also visited Brazil. I don't know how did I find time to do all this? I don't know.
Crazy.
I visited Brazil for about 3 weeks, just a quick trip down there, and
Quick trip, right.
And I visited with Antonio Tessarin. There he is, there on my left. Antonio is the one that taught me how to build guitars. And I'm very thankful and grateful for what he has done for me. And he's doing some fantastic work. I think he's past number 800 now, all done by hand the old-fashioned way. And so there he is. There's me playing one of his all spruce guitars. And that guitar was fantastic. For those of you that are into resonant frequencies, that's about the lowest resonant frequency I believe I've ever seen on a box. And it was a fantastic instrument. And there I am in Brazil, there on the streets. I had, there's Dantas. And sorry, Dantas, I cut your head off here somehow. I don't know how to resize these pictures in the program here. But he was one of my former students, and he brought one of his guitars by there, and we got to play it there. So Dantas, oh, look at that. That makes me hungry just looking at that. For those of you who are familiar with Brazilian cuisine or are from Brazil, this is Brazilian Feijoada, which is basically a black bean stew with rice and collard greens. And boy, I miss the food already. So there you go. That's the virtual class. I will be doing the virtual classes again this year. I don't have the dates selected yet, but I do already have a big long list of people that are wanting to get in on those. So if you want to be added to that list, contact me. My contact information is on my website, and go ahead and contact me, and you can get in on that. I think we're getting close to the end of the hour here, so I think we ought to do one more giveaway. What do you say we give away a $150 gift certificate? You okay with that, Adriana?
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Well, let me make sure I get make sure I get Miss Brazil's approval here. Are you okay with that?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so $150 gift certificate. I have the boss's approval, and here we go. Calling Cesar one more time down there in Brazil, and here we go. What? He's out to lunch. Oh, there he is. All right, here we go with our final giveaway, Cesar. This time we're going to give away a $150 gift certificate to any online course on the website. So I'll put you up to the camera here. Go ahead and generate the number there. Let's see what we got.
So we now have 46 people, and let's generate the number. Number 15, which is 15. Let's see. Eric. Oof. I'm not sure.
Eric, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name. M-O-U-F-F-E. Eric, M-O-U-F-F-E. Congratulations, you just won a $150 gift certificate to anything available on my website. And Cesar, the fantastic web developer down there in Brazil, will be in touch, and you will get that gift certificate. So congratulations. And thank you, Cesar. That's the last time I'm going to call you. Say goodbye. Thank you. Thank you, Cesar.
See you.
There's a question for me.
A question for Adriana. By the way, if anybody has a question for the girl from Ipanema, I've got her mic'd up today. I got a camera on her. So if you have any questions, go right ahead. Let's see what you got.
So Donald
Forsyth.
Adriana, does Robbie ever play the guitar for you? And if so, do you have a favorite song that Robbie plays? Oh yes, he does. Girl from Ipanema. Samba de Orfeu. I love that song. How do you say that? Samba de Orfeu. In English, that's called Black Orpheus. Yeah, I like that one. I haven't played that one in a while. Corcovado. Yeah. Cantinho, violão. I like those. Ah, yeah. I learned how to play guitar in Brazil, and so I started playing bossa nova. That's what I learned how to play. And so all of the old Tom Jobim bossa nova jazz standards is what I learned how to play. But I haven't played those in a while, have I? Yeah. A little story about this. When I was in music school,
Adriana, you know, I would do a lot of practicing, and I used to play about 8 to 10 hours a day for a number of years. Now I play 15 minutes if I'm lucky. But anytime I would get the guitar out, she would go to sleep. At a concert or just doing rehearsals, you know, in our home.
I just feel...
All right. Any more questions for the girl from Ipanema?
No, but there's questions for you.
Somebody sent me a cartoon the other day. I think it was a Peanuts cartoon, an old Charlie Brown cartoon, about Linus, I think, had won some type of award at school because he was the only person that knew where Ipanema was. Did you see that cartoon at the end? That was funny. It was really funny. Anyway, we call her the girl from Ipanema because obviously she's from Brazil and because of the very famous Tom Jobim tune, the girl from Ipanema. Olha que coisa mais linda, cheia de graça. Anyway, okay, go ahead.
Let's see what else. I've seen back inside from Kurt Silva. I've seen back insides for sale that look like it's plain sawn. Is it okay to use? I thought Corazon is the type to use. It's great to catch you live. I hope you continue the shop talk.
Okay, yes, I will continue shop talk. We did 8 of those this year, and sometimes I would do a solo, and then sometimes I would have a guest. And so I plan on doing more of those this coming year, 2022. Flat sawn, quarter sawn, riff sawn. These days, back in sides, people are accepting flat sawn or riff sawn, and that's where the figure comes from. It's really pretty. That's the good news. The bad news is it's really pretty, and that causes problems when it's time to work with it because it's a lot less stable than your quarter sawn wood. But the quarter sawn wood become so accustomed to it that it doesn't do anything for us anymore. So we like that highly figured stuff. Some of the stuff I've seen, like when I used to live in Brazil, it's very popular here in the States, the Brazilian stump wood, that spider webbing kind of stuff. And I'd show that to my buddies down in Brazil. It was getting high dollar here in the States and everybody was buying it. And I would show that to my buddies in Brazil and they would just laugh. Say, man, we would never use that. Are you crazy? That's just going to move around and crack. So, you know, you've got a challenge to work with it. If you can make it work, fantastic. But do you want to look at your guitar or do you want to play it? So I prefer to play them, but every now and then I'll throw something a little, you know, nice on there to jazz it up a little bit. All right, we're getting to the end of the hour here.
Yeah, we have 6:04. We still have more questions.
Should we hit another question or two? At some point, we got to call it quits here, folks.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
But let's see. Got another question for us?
Do you prefer to spray a sunburst or wipe on by hand? That was Brian.
I do very, very few sunbursts. I've done wipe on, which, by the way, there's an online mandolin course on my website done by Jeff Burkhart that shows how you do it by hand. And then Jeff Jewett, who's the finishing guru around the world, very well known in the finishing world, shows you how to do it by hand and by spraying in his course. By the way, I think I mentioned that next year, Jeff Jewett and I will be offering a high gloss spray finishing class at the Mark Adams School of Woodworking. It's going to be in September of this coming year. I don't know what the enrollment is at this point, but it's probably already full. But contact the Mark Adams School of Woodworking, see if you can get in on it. Word on the street is, Jeff and I are co-teaching that class. The word on the street is that Jeff, if time permitting, will be doing a sunburst demo. Now, the focus of the class is clear coat finishing, high gloss. So you'll learn how to surface prep, level, or spray, level, buff, etc. But time permitting, he's going to do a demo on how to do a sunburst finish in the class. Okay. One more question? What you got?
Rene said, I love French polish. It takes time, but I love it. But he said something else too. Oh, John, I don't know, Joe 33. Can I sleep in your garage when I'm in town for the course? Laugh out loud. Need to save some money. Ha ha ha.
Unfortunately, I'm not set up for that. All of these students stay at the local hotel, and we have several here to choose from, almost within walking distance of my shop. So unfortunately, we're not set up to host people here in the shop.
What would be an alternative to gut strings in today's time?
Synthetic gut. Now, if we're talking classical or steel string, there is synthetic gut, and you can still get gut strings, by the way. But there also is synthetic gut, or Nile gut, I think is what they call it. And that's what I put on the 1860 guitar that I restored here recently. I've also put, on steel string guitars, I've put silk and steel. I've done several restorations on 1890 Martins. And some of those I put nylon on, some of those I put silk and steel. It's a lot less tension than our modern day steel string. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's about it. Oh, one quick reminder, or a couple of quick reminders. If you want to help support a great cause, which the Acoustic Coffee Company does a great cause, they're a startup business. There's a promo code at the top of the chat box there, ROBBIE-O, will get you a discount on your first purchase. And they also do a lot of great causes around the world. That's one thing. The second thing is renew your subscription to the Guild of American Luthiers magazine, which is American Lutherie magazine. There is a lot of great information in there. And I highly recommend that, if you're into Lutherie work, then you ought to be associated with those that are like-minded. And there's a lot of great information coming out. Now, the folks out there in Washington, Tim Olson and the gang out there, put out a fantastic quarterly magazine. And so go ahead and go out to the Guild of American Luthiers website. It's luth.org. And then go ahead and subscribe to the quarterly magazine. Become a member of the Guild of American Luthiers. And you will not regret it, I guarantee. By the way, their convention that was scheduled for last year was canceled because of COVID. 2022, it's also been canceled. And they're tentatively putting that on the calendar for 2023. So hopefully we'll see a lot of you out there in 2023 in Tacoma, Washington. I love meeting people, putting faces with names and things like that. So, Deanna, I think that's about enough. What do you think?
I think so. I think I have to start getting ready for Christmas.
Any last words? Would you like to have a moment of silence or say a few words or anything? My condolences to all you Luthiers out there who need 12-step programs. Or no? Are we good?
Just thank you for your support and for always attending his lives and purchasing his courses, coming here, you name it. Thank you. Without you, we couldn't be here, right? That's right. That's right. Yes. Thank you very much. I'll reiterate that if you folks don't make an effort to be here, to come to my shop, get time away from the family and the friends and work and all that kind of stuff, and it's not cheap, it's a financial burden. So I greatly appreciate it. All of those that make the effort to be here, and I make it a point to try and make sure you get your money's worth. So I hope that everybody feels that way. I've made some lifelong friends from people coming into my shop, and we just hit it off. So fantastic, and thank you very much for that. It does help support the bottom line, keep the lights on here at O'Brien Guitars and in the O'Brien household. Thank you for all those who have purchased my online courses. By the way, did I mention at the end that those are 10% off until Christmas Day? Anyway, if you want to help support a good cause and also learn some great information, then the online courses are the way to go. I think they're the best out there by the best professionals in the business. So thank you very much for all of those that support that. Lutherie Academy will be coming up here very shortly next year. We have new online courses. I've only discussed 2 of them, the 6-day course classical, 6-day course steel string. This still needs to be edited, but there are others that are being filmed, and I will not mention until we get a little closer to release dates. Thank you very much. I wish everybody out there a very Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Hopefully you can find some time during the holiday season in this world full of madness to reflect and relax and recharge your batteries, hit the ground running like I will in 2022. So thank you so much. Happy building, everybody, and thank you for taking time out to spend some time with my wife and I here in the shop talk. Over and out. Thank you.